And welcome to the Westchester Publishing Services Introduction to the Client Portal webinar. Just chat amongst yourselves for just a moment or two. Okay, I think we're probably ready to go. So my name is Tim Davis, and I'm the Managing Director of Westchester Publishing Services UK office in Stratford-upon-Avon. I'm joined today by my colleague, Joe Atanasio, who is Westchester's Client Portal Implementation Manager. Joe is based at our Danbury, Connecticut office, and will be giving a demonstration of the Client Portal and explaining how you can integrate it into your editorial and typesetting workflow for your Westchester projects. Firstly, just a little housekeeping. Your microphones are muted and will remain so throughout the webinar. We invite you to enter any questions you have in the questions area at the lower right-hand portion of the webinar window. We'll answer as many questions as possible at the end of Joe's demo, and you'll be emailed a recording of today's webinar along with answers to all questions that are submitted today. So some of you may not be familiar with Westchester. Here's a little background information about us. We were founded in 1969. We're employee owned and we have offices in the UK, US and India. We provide editorial, design, typesetting, digital production and project management services to our academic, educational and trade publisher clients. In addition, our education services division offers content creation and authoring, for example, the development and/or adaptation of ELT programs. We have more than 200 client publishers in the UK, US and worldwide, including Bloomsbury, Macmillan, UCL Press, Edinburgh University Press, Lion Hudson, Edward Elgar, Gill Education and the University of West Indies Press. And we provide pre-press services for more than 4,000 books, journals and white papers annually. In today's session, Joe will give you an overview of several key features of the Client Portal, including how to use the dashboard, how to access project assets and timelines for your editorial and typesetting projects assigned to Westchester, and the reporting features that make project management a more transparent and efficient process for you and your team. So Joe, are you ready to show us some of the portal's features?
I am. Hello, everyone. So our web portal is exactly that. It is based off of a website. So there's no logging into any apps from Westchester. You just open up your web browser, log in using your email and password, and it will take you right to your dashboard. Your dashboard is a compilation of all open projects that are currently with Westchester. The portal will contain information going as far back as January 1st, 2017, but the only things that you'll ever have to worry about on your dashboard are projects that are currently open and in progress. You're able to access those later projects by using job lookup over on the left, and we'll cover that in a minute. But so your dashboard provides a bunch of metadata information that we're currently tracking, as well as a visual representation of the schedule, which is located here under the progress bar. You can change what is available on your dashboard by coming up to the gear settings and clicking on configure columns, where you can then choose from any metadata field that is available and then restructure however you want the order to be. And then when you click update, that will be your new dashboard until you decide to change it again. Prefix and job number are internal numbers. Prefix represents the account. So in this case, 8500 is the full service branch of this fake client. And then job number is our internal job number for the project in question. You've got author, title, a visual representation of the schedule, which I'll explore in more detail when we actually look at a project in a bit. The schedule type, whether it's a standard or rush, who your contact is at Westchester. Now, one thing that you should know is that the client portal is not meant to replace your contact. This is meant to be a more transparent window for you into our workflow process, but you will still have that same point of contact. They'll still be the person you go to. And specifically, they'll be the person who's updating the project as it goes through our systems. You've got the projected end date, searchable text, which is a field that we'll cover inside the actual project, but what it allows you to do is create custom filters, author email, and the corresponding author, which in some cases will be the same as the primary, or if it's not, that that second author will be listed there. You can also look at these schedule items through the timeline, which is also under settings, which takes all of the information that is on the dashboard, all of the schedule information, and puts it into this Gantt chart, where it groups all of the what we call clusters and into the date range that it applies for. What a cluster is a group of similar workflows. So MS Prep might be preparation of manuscript pages. It might be it might include sending it to the copy editor, things along that nature. You know, MS Review would be copy edited pages have come back and they've gone to either the author for review or the publisher for review. And so what the cluster show here is how long the entire process is going to take. And you can see it on a week by week, 3 month, or 1 month, and you can navigate going backwards and forwards. You can also set up filters through your dashboard. For example, we've got a filter for winter releases, which when we click on it, it looks in the searchable text for the phrase winter, and it displays what projects match that criteria. And you return to your normal dashboard by just clearing out the search term. So let's look at an actual project. Let's go to this one, and we can access the project by clicking on the title or the job number. It opens in a new tab with the name of the tab and the job number located on top. So if you spent a lot of time working on multiple filters, you don't have to worry about losing those filters. So on your basic info tab, it contains all of the basic information that you have about the job, you know, title, our job number, ISBNs, when we're supposed to start the job, when it's due, when the manuscript came in, what services are being done, et cetera, et cetera. Under contacts, these are your contacts related to the job. You've got the contact at your offices and the contact at our offices, as well as the author. If this project had more than one author, all of the authors would be listed out here, along with their name, their email address. And then there are these two markers over here. The blue dot indicates the primary author. It's always going to be the person on top, and it's going to be the person whose name is associated with the project. But the orange dot indicates the corresponding author. So if you're working on a white paper and the lead author is not available for review because they're going to be out of the country and out of contact, and the secondary author is going to be the person who's reviewing, that second author would have the orange dot next to it. So it's a visual representation of who is supposed to be the point of contact. The Publisher tab contains information that you can edit. It's the only tab that has editable fields for the client side. But you can see if you have customer job numbers, here's where that searchable text comes in. Edition, publication date, print date, edition descriptions, as well as comments for publisher. These are note fields where, specifically this one here, WPS comes from publisher, where your PE will be writing down any information that you need to be aware of. So if, you know, if a project goes late, the explanation of as to why that happened, in addition to being in your email when they contacted you about it, will be listed here for record's sake. If there are other fields that you want to be able to track on your own end, let us know and we can see about adding it to this tab. But this is the basic default that you will start with. The artwork tab is a bit of a combination. Right now it is artwork and design. So you can see the design details related to this specific project, as well as the artwork details. But then you also have, what materials have we received and what are we still waiting for, as well as are there other artwork comments beyond the basic, number of halftones, line arts, tables, etc. The Uploads tab provides a way for us to send files back and forth to you using Dropbox. If you wish to use this tab, it replaces sending files through email, it replaces sending files through FTP, but what it enables you to do is download files directly from us by clicking on the file name, or you can access a shareable link so you can send the file to a colleague or the author, or you can view it directly in Dropbox using the Dropbox button. But what this does is it describes what the file is and what stage it's associated with, what workflow it's associated with. And you can see when it was sent to you, what time, and then conversely, you can send files directly to us. So if you're looking at first pass and then you realize that the artwork doesn't work on some pages, you can send corrected artwork through, and then it will be input in the revised pages. And you see you also have what stage it's for, description of what the work is, shareable link, Dropbox, etc., etc. This is ideal because the way our system works is these files will always be associated with the job. So when this job ends, these files don't go anywhere. You can come back to this job in 3 years, use job lookup to find the job, go to the Uploads tab, and all of the files that have been sent or received will still be listed here. So even if something happens and the archive gets corrupted on your end, you can still just come in and re-download the files that you need. On the Schedule tab, this is the this is the widespread version of the visual progress bar that we saw. Each one of those dots on the progress bar are these large clusters: MS Prep, MS Review, Project Composition, and then inside you can see the stages that are associated with that cluster. You've got a planned start and a planned end date for each stage, and then the actual start and the actual end as it goes through. So you can see how it's moving in relationship to the schedule. And this is updated as the project moves through the system. So as your PE finishes working with services, they'll fill it in and then they'll put in the date that they sent it to the publisher. So you'll be able to look at this and know exactly where your projects are at any given point. The last tab is the Reports tab. It contains 2 different reports. Right now, these are the 2 reports that are provided at the start of every job. One is the Order Confirmation Report, and the other is the Customer Schedule Report. So the Customer Schedule Report takes that Schedule tab, removes the clusters, and then just lists out all of the stages along with the actual schedule and the dates as it has gone by. So if you generate this at the beginning and at the end of the project, you'll see as we fill in dates in the portal, this report continues to update. The Order Confirmation Report is a 1 sheet about the job, specifically looking at what's being done on the job, any artwork, design details, and then certain specific schedule items appear here as well. So let's go back to the dashboard and look at some other reports that you can generate. Over here next to the settings feature, you've got a drop down with 2 reports by default. If you need more reports generated, let us know what you need or what you want it to do, and we'll be happy to make them for you. One is publisher-owned overdue stages. One is publisher-owned stages due this week. Each of those stages that I just showed you is either tagged publisher-owned or WPS-owned. A publisher-owned stage is a stage that is happening to the job that Westchester is not performing ourselves. So final pages for approval, manuscript with author for review. Those are publisher-owned stages. A publisher-owned stages do this week report, when you run it, looks at the schedule, and it identifies the stages that are tagged as publisher-owned that are either set to start or end this week. So you can run this report on Monday and you'll see these are all of the items that are either going to come to me or I have to give back to Westchester this week. And you'll be able to look at this and you can see, in this case, there are a bunch that are with the publisher, but there are a couple that are supposed to be with the author. So you'll be able to maintain visual over the ones that are not going to you themselves. You have another one for overdue stages, which I'm not going to show because none of the stages in this demo are listed as overdue. But what it does is it looks for the same stages and looks and sees, is the due date past due and is it not marked complete? So you're able to open it up and you can see which authors have not sent in their manuscript pages to keep the book on track. If there are more static reports that you need or would like reports that involve calculations, they would be listed under this reports header over here. You'll notice there is nothing under there right now. But if you wanted something with more calculations, for example, how many books are done in a year, how many books have you sent us in a year, that report would be under here as well. And that should be available within the next couple weeks, actually, for clients to view as default. Lastly, if you wanted to, if you choose to use the portal to create projects on your own, you can do so by clicking Start a Project, filling in the title, the due date, any comments, and then selecting whether it is for what account the project is for. If it's for full service or for composition, you can then fill this in, click Save, and start uploading files. And what this does is it sends a notification to our team that you have sent us a new project, and we'll review it, and we'll get back to you, and you'll start to see the project move forward in the normal workflow. This is available if you would like to use it. Otherwise, you can continue to send us projects however you are doing so currently. There are a lot of additional features in the portal. We don't have time to go over all of them today, but if you go to the user manual, we're always updating this, but it is a breakdown of all of the different features that the portal has and can show you how to do a lot more than our brief overview today. Now I'll pass this back to Tim and we can continue on.
Joe, thanks for that excellent overview. As you've just seen, the Westchester Client Portal makes management of your publishing program more efficient by giving you unparalleled visibility to the status of your projects. Westchester is pleased to provide our clients with access to this secure project status platform at no additional charge. As Joe mentioned in the presentation, we're also able to create customized reporting that's tailored to your needs. I should also mention that we were honored and delighted that the portal was shortlisted for this year's Stationers' Company Innovation Excellence Award. Okay, thanks for the questions you submitted during the presentation. We'll answer as many of them as we can now. As a reminder, your microphones are still muted, so please enter any further questions in the panel at the lower right-hand side of the webinar screen. So Joe, are you ready to take the questions?
I am.
Okay, first question. How often is the data updated in the portal?
So the data in our portal is updated in real time. As changes are made, our staff uses the portal to track the progression. The portal is our internal workflow. We're just providing an open window into it for the client.
Very good. Next question. I currently work with a named contact at Westchester's Indian operation in Chennai, and I find this personal contact very helpful. Does the portal replace my Westchester project manager?
No, the portal does not replace your project manager. It's used to allow you greater transparency and communication with your contact.
All right. Next question. Can I view the portal on my iPad or mobile device?
Yes. While the portal is optimized for desktop or laptop viewing, it's viewable through your iPad or mobile. but we're always working to improve the portal, and improving mobile usability is one of those items.
Okay. Next question, Joe. I'm not the best with technology. Can your staff build reports for me if I tell you what I want to see?
Yeah, if you provide us with what you want the report to generate, we can build it. Even if you're not sure which metadata fields you want to generate, if you just tell us what you want the report to do or the information you want it to present to you, we can create that too.
Okay, and what file formats are those custom reports available in?
So all reports are available through web format. When you run a report, the portal will automatically produce it, but all reports can be downloaded. The reports from the dashboard can be downloaded as either CSVs or Excel files or PDF files, while static reports under that reports menu are only available through Excel file.
Okay, and Joe, the final question for now. Is it possible to change the time zone and or the date format in the portal?
Not at this time, but that is something that's coming in a few months. Right now, the portal is set up to display Eastern Standard Time US format, but we're hoping to have that set up where it can be changed on a user preference in a couple months.
All right, very clear. Thank you, Joe.
Sure.
Well, thank you, everyone. We appreciate you taking the time to join us for today's webinar about Westchester's Client Portal. We hope the information we shared with you showed how you can easily and securely incorporate the portal into your editorial or composition projects. As Joe mentioned, we continually add capabilities to the portal based on our clients' feedback, and we invite and we welcome your input. If you have any further questions, or if we didn't have time to answer your question, or if you're keen to integrate the client portal into your project workflow, please contact us at the email address on the slide. Thanks again for attending the Westchester Client Portal webinar, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Goodbye.